G'day everyone, Prep Aussie here. I hope you're all well in whatever part of the world you're watching this video. Today is Tuesday the 5th of June 2019 and the time here is 11:05 Australian Eastern Standard Time. Well folks, thanks for all the great comments on the last video. Video kind of took off actually and my numbers were way up. So that's refreshing. I have some thoughts as regards to financial that I thought I'd share with you guys a little bit today. And also people ask me how do I prepare and all that sort of stuff. So all right, we're going to go through that. Let me do the sponsorship first. Okay, this is my great sponsor, Totally Rawsome, who, as you may or may not know, manufacture holistic golden turmeric paste. It's been really refreshing to get everyone's feedback on this, or people's feedback, not everyone's, but people's feedback on this, because all saying exactly the same thing as me. It does work. It really does work, folks. If you haven't tried it, you should. If you have joint pain, knee pain, elbow pain, anything like that, even back pain, I reckon, this stuff just brilliant. They also have a golden turmeric paste for their dogs, for dogs, not for their dogs, although I know they use it for their dogs, and I'm using that for my dog and it is fantastic. Okay, here are their contact details and where they're at. Bundles Farmer Market on every Sunday, 6 till 12. Contact us here, mobile phone, info@totallyrawsome.com.au. Okie dokie. Right, a lot of people have asked me, how can I be so sure about Deutsche Bank? And right off the bat, I want to say I'm not a financial advisor. So this is not financial advice, okay? So everything I'm saying to you is just as an observer and an economic hack, okay? So take that on board. If you have a company that's successful, let's use Apple for example, and their shares, you bought shares at $20, went up to, I don't know, what are they now, $1,000 each or something stupid. Well, you'd be pretty happy if you went in holus bolus when you were 20, 30 years of age and you decided you were going to buy a crap load of Apple shares in the 80s and 90s, and I reckon you'd be pretty happy. Excuse me. And it would be the same as Deutsche Bank. If you bought Deutsche Bank shares at $20 a share and it went up to a record high of $147, then you'd be going, everything's sweet. But then the arse literally fell out of their shares after 2007, 2008. I showed you historically, right? Now, let's just use those two examples. Apple is a phone company. Deutsche Bank is the number one banking entity in the world. I'll let you just think about that. It is the number one bank in the world. Forget all the others, because although they're relevant, Deutsche Bank is the big numero uno. Nothing works without Deutsche Bank sticking their finger in the pie, kind of thing. Now, if you're losing Apple shares from 1,000 and they go down to $6, if you using Apple as the example, okay, so you've got $1,000 of shares, it's gone down to $6, which Deutsche Bank currently is, then you would be saying that this is a failed company. wouldn't you? 100%. And okay, to use another terminology, let's just say Apple shares were at 147 and they went down to $6 a share. Then you would be looking at that company going, yeah, that ain't great. That company's shit. Would you not? So, if you've got the number one banking entity in the world, Deutsche Bank, and their shares have gone from 147 down to 6, then you would be quite right in thinking that their shares are shit, or there's something seriously wrong with that company. Now, what's wrong with that company? And okay, let's use Apple as the analogy. Well, you'd be looking at that saying, well, if their shares have gone down so much, they've got massive problems, massive debt problems. Did you notice that word that I used there? Debt. So, we know that Deutsche Bank has, let's just use a round figure. It's up 40, let's use 40 trillion, regardless if it's more or not. 40 trillion dollars in derivatives. Sorry, difficult word. I'm going to say that again. It has 40 trillion dollars in derivatives. And their shares currently are trading at $6 a share. Now, remember, you've gone from 142 down to 6. All those people who bought anywhere in the middle of that, unless they were super smart, have lost money or gone broke because of Deutsche Bank shares going down to $6 a share. Did you understand what I just said? Anyone in that range, regardless of if they even bought it at $10 a share, and if you decided to throw in a shitload of money at Deutsche Bank shares anywhere in the middle there, you've lost money unless you are the smartest person in the world and know exactly when everything's going to drop. So everyone that's got those shares has lost tons of money and has possibly even gone broke. Now, here's the clincher. Who is the biggest shareholders of bank shares? 2 people. 3 people, sorry. Public, private, i.e. private enterprise, government. Oh, sorry. There's 4. Government and other banking institutions. Think about that. Public, private, government, banking institutions. I'm going to say that again. Banking institutions. So basically, anybody or everybody who's holding Deutsche Bank shares has now got a piece of paper that is you might as well wipe your ass with, because it's not worth anything. Do you understand that? It's actually gone down the toilet, and you might as well wipe your ass with that piece of paper and flush it down with it, because that's where it's going to go. So effectively, Deutsche Bank now cannot raise funds to pay off their debt. So, who, and this is the big one, who is going to pay that debt? The German government a year ago stepped in, and you might have noticed, if you look at it closely, if you go back to that chart I showed you, the Deutsche Bank shares went from, I think it was $7 up to 10 or 15 or something like that, because the German government stepped in and bought shitloads of shares and, bailed them out, more or less. But that's not the biggest thing. I said to you, Deutsche Bank has its fingers in every single pie, basically, that goes on around the world. So, there are other institutions around the world that are literally sitting in dark rooms at the moment going, oh my God, how are we going to get out of this? Because remember, this was always going to happen. They thought they could stop it, but it's not. Eventually, economic Mother Nature takes control. And you can only hide shit for so long. And have you noticed that nobody in the world is reporting about Deutsche Bank? Except me, maybe Greg Manarino, Greg Hunter, i.e. people that actually want to tell you the truth. So, Deutsche Bank is going to go. But before Deutsche Bank goes broke, they will sacrifice, like I said, 3, 4, 5 banks before they let Deutsche Bank go down. All with the aim of saying, oh, it's okay, we can manage it. That's when you really start to get worried, if you're not already. Okay? Right. Now, leading on to prepping. I said to you guys the other day that the story about the mannequin with the woman who was in the Second World War, and they could not get a model to fit her wedding dress. Can you imagine? This is going to blow your minds. I'm going to say this, and this is going to stick with you a lot, so you're going to remember this. Can you imagine not brushing your teeth with toothpaste or mouthwash for, I don't know, maybe a year, a month, a year, a week? Can you imagine that? I know that sounds like a really simplistic, simple thing, but do you realise that during the Second World War, not that dental hygiene was high on the top of many people's lists, I guess, but do you realise that most people didn't have toothpaste, they didn't have mouthwash, they didn't have soap? Think about that. Because you remember soap used to be in bars. People still buy bars of soap. Amazingly. But can you imagine not being able to brush your teeth with toothpaste for a year? Can you even imagine a week? 1 week? See, it's a simple thing, but this is where we're going. Because once Deutsche Bank goes, or once this starts, then the supply chain stops and everything you know is going back to zero. Everything. So, I got asked about prepping. Okay. I'm just using that to make sure you understand. Let's talk about prepping. People ask me, how can I grow vegetables? I don't know how to grow vegetables. Blah, blah. All right. Look, and this is really easy to remember. You can grow vegetables in an apartment. If you've got a balcony, you've got sunlight, you can grow anything. It's just up to you how much you want to grow. I had when I lived in Perth, I had a 720 block, and I converted the whole of the backyard, basically, all the garden beds and everything else. I didn't grow pretty flowers and that. I grew vegetables, spinach, etc. And I had crammed into that as well, I had 5 chickens. So my point being, even though the footprint might be small, You can still grow stuff. It's you that's actually stopping yourself from doing that. And you can go and get your stuff cheaply. Don't go to the shops and buy all your stuff. Go on Gumtree if you're in Australia, or Craigslist, I think it is in America. Buy stuff that people don't want. I bought 3 chickens and a chicken coop and the feeder and the water bottle for $110. Brand new, all brand new, because the guy didn't want them. He just wanted to get rid of them off Gumtree. Now, if I went to the shop to buy that, it's $500 plus. So my point being, even if $100 is a stretch for you, you can still find stuff on Gumtree in Australia for free. People want to get rid of it. And all you've got to do is go on Gumtree, set it up correctly so that you get notifications of the stuff that you want sent to you. It's like being on YouTube and Facebook and that, I guess. Not that I've ever used it, but you just get stuff sent to you. Messages that say this stuff's for free. The stuff you're looking for is free. Okay, I'm going to show you a website, not a website, a YouTube site of the person that I think, right, and I've looked at a lot of these people. He's an Australian guy, and I'm not just saying because he's an Australian. I've looked at all the American ones, etc. But I think it's more relevant that you find someone who's relevant to your country and is doing what you're doing. This guy's an Australian, and he is awesome. Absolutely awesome, guys. You watch this guy, he gives you 100% perfect information about what to grow, how to grow it, and he's very much into the whole composting, etc. You know, how do you set everything up? How do you do it? And I'll show you his site now. Okay, guys, this is the guy's website, and it's called SelfSufficient Me. And it says, just be self-sufficient in something. And look, this guy is amazing. Look, looming recession, how growing food can help. And he's right. Feedomatic chicken review. There you go. Look, this guy's got everything on here, guys. He goes through every single food. What happens when you bury chicken scraps in the ground, in the garden? He goes through everything. And I would highly recommend that you go on this guy's site if you're in Australia, and say to him, look, you know, go through his videos. He's got hundreds of videos here. You know, this guy's been doing this for a while, and his stuff is just awesome. Seriously, he's actually trying to help people, and that's what you want. Someone that's trying to teach you how to do stuff. I can tell you, but go to him. Watch his videos, because he's a guru. Seriously, he's unbelievable. I'd love to get him on here, actually. I should get him on for an interview and go through stuff with him, because honestly, he's helped me out no end. No end. But because of his videos, we've completely changed our kitchen arrangement as regards to scraps, recycling, everything, because of it. And it was really simple, and I mean really simple, but it was the stuff that we just, you know, you get shrouded in crap, don't you? You just forget how to do stuff simply. And it's simple. It's really simple. And growing, he shows you how to grow stuff really simply. You haven't got, you haven't got a veggie garden? Don't worry about it. Just plant something in the ground. How hard is it? It's not. Watch his videos. He's brilliant. I'm telling you. Okay, folks. Verse of the day. A gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. Wow, how good is that? Okay, folks, as always, we'll finish with the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory, for ever and ever. Amen. All right, folks, leave it there. Speak to you next time. God bless. Prep out.